Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back with some more NTW3 action for you today, and we have a magnificent 4v4 as we have the French here with their Grenadiers and Cheval and Cuirassiers gliding across the plains. Yeah, we have which France do we have here today? 1808 France we have Poland, and we have the Swiss, and we have the 1812 France as well. So we've got some good French armies here today, and they are facing Sweden. They're facing Austria 1809. We don't often see Austria these days. Austria kind of gets doesn't get a lot of love sometimes. We've got Russia 1799, another faction we don't often see, and we have Britain 1801 in like their Egyptian campaign. Another faction I'd say we don't really see like too much. All you've really missed, by the way, is like the Poles and the Swedes had a little bit of a skirmish. There's some light dragoons here. Sweden got routed by these. Well, these lancers, I think these guys are. I'm not really sure. Yeah, these guys are. Yeah, they're lancers. They look like some really poorly trained, Poles. But yes, I've taken a little break from YouTube that you guys wouldn't have known. There was replays and stuff all ready and set up over the weekend. But I was away, so there was no new content being created ready for this week. So I've kind of just delved into the replays folder and seen what we've got available. So we've got some glorious NTW3 for you, so I hope you guys are ready to enjoy some glorious cannon fire and some brave bayonet charges. And it looks like we actually have some cannon fire up here ready to go. Got some artillery, some horse artillery here. It's got a really nice angle actually. You need to be careful they don't just shoot their own lancers here. I thought it was shooting at maybe Britain, but it looks like they're aiming at something that's well, we can't see. Yeah, that cannonball there just fired off in that direction at something. But yeah, so if you're enjoying seeing the content at the moment and would like to see some more NTW3 stuff, and you haven't already, do feel free to subscribe, leave a like as well, and a comment if you want to let me know if there's any certain NTW3s scenarios you'd like to see, perhaps. But yes, we are very, very close to 4,000 subscribers as well, so it'd be much appreciated if you could subscribe if you haven't already. Just get to that mark, because I think we're doing I'm planning to do a Q&A at 4,000. You guys can ask me about myself or the channel, or neither. Maybe you just want to ask me about, I don't know, which is superior, orcs or, I don't know, orcs or Uruk-hai. And the answer's Uruk-hai, so there you go, you get that one, that's a freebie for you. But yeah, so it looks like all we're missing at the moment is, all we're missing out on is some cannon fire and some cavalry here. Looks like Russia's just getting bombarded a little bit with his light cav. I mean, he's not going to be too worried about this. He's not going to lose too much sleep over light cav being shot to pieces. Really looks like Poland, though, obviously with his masses of cavalry, which is a good sign that Poland, a good Polish player here, bringing a lot of cavalry. Obviously, taking advantage of what his faction's really strong suit is. It looks like he's kind of being a little bit defensive. I guess he doesn't really know where this Austrian army is. I mean, it looks like... I wonder whether this is what the... where is it? The horse artillery, I guess, is up there somewhere. It's up there on that hill. Maybe they're shooting at this general. Maybe they're shooting at everything here. That there's maybe they're shooting... Yeah, maybe they're dueling with this Austrian... This Austrian artillery almost certainly is what they're dueling with. Need to be careful though. It looks like the French going in, actually. Yeah, French are going to go in. And they're going to go in with their Chasseurs Cheval here. And they're going after a howitzer. Really, really good target. So it looks like the Chasseurs Cheval won't get out of this alive, but it will take out a howitzer. And there you go. These guys just annihilated that. And maybe they will get out. Maybe they're going to be able to take Abercrombie out. I mean, because these Inniskilling foot are not the greatest of a range. I mean, they obviously hit, but not rout the unit. Oh no, there you go. They did rout it in time, just in time. Abercrombie scared them off with his sheer presence. But obviously, the closer you are, the more accuracy you're going to have. So, I mean, it isn't necessarily that they're going to rout that unit, but they are kind of routing it now. Got some British cavalry that was actually hidden that's just appeared. A lot of light dragoons here. I imagine, yeah, Homspence mounted rifles. Never seen these guys before. They look awesome. They're shakos. What are these? Probably more light dragoons. Yep. So, yeah, a lot of light dragoons being put into place. And looks like Russia's going to return the favor. He's going to try and destroy this horse artillery here. And he might do it, you know. There you go. Looks like, yeah, he's going to do this very effectively. Very nicely done. There you go. So both sides lost an artillery piece. The French and the British have both lost one. I mean, this Russian cavalry is not finished with, and most of these infantry here can't form square. So they might be able to cause more havoc back here. They may just need to be a little bit more patient. Maybe go into the woods, go and hide. Who knows? But I hope you guys anyway have had a good weekend and certainly enjoying your Monday. I certainly know us Brits are certainly enjoying ours with restrictions being lifted today in COVID. A lot of shops and like you can go to the pub now outdoors, which is like all we seem to do in Britain is go to the pub. But as we can just look at these glorious like Ullans here, these look awesome. Really do. They've done such a good job with this mod. Really like gets you into the like Napoleon period with like the uniforms and all the units and the factions. Corsican Rangers. Never seen these guys before. I do remember that like at one point Britain does annex Corsica, which is such a weird thing to think about. But then they kind of return it, I think, in like the various peace treaty. What we got here? More Corsican? No, these are Lowenstein rifles. Okay, so we've got some rifles here. In grey, not in their rifle green. What they've become iconically. And I guess we've got like some sort of a first line battle going on here. The French have got some Trilliers. What are these guys called? Trillier Corsairs? They're cousins of the Emperor. Well, do you need to all be like a cousin of the Emperor to join this unit, I wonder? If so, it's a very effective way of getting rid of your cousins. Put them in a line unit. This will certainly be... I'm sure this is an elite unit. I've got another one here as well. I mean, look how close this artillery is. It's another, like, horse artillery. It's very, very close. 1812 France. Maybe need to be a little bit careful with his artillery here. With his fires. And it looks like he's going to send forward some dragoons. Well, these guys can form square. I guess he's going after the Rangers. He's sending in his Grenadiers to the line, which obviously is a great unit. Look at them. They look fancy as hell. And yeah, these dragoons and Grenadiers to the line breaking through. So forming square is not really going to help. They are going to rout those Corsican Rangers, which is very sad to see. And it looks like the Swiss on the far side as well, also sending forces. I've not seen what the Swiss are sending forward. Sending forward some dragoons against light dragoons of Britain. So and now Britain sending in more light dragoons. But yeah, it looks like France kind of ineffective there. I don't really know. He's going to break this North Lincolnshire unit, which is a shame. Living in Lincolnshire at the moment. How dare you rout men? So we've got more. Yeah, it looks like obviously with this like flank sort of being turned by the Grenadiers of the line here, they need to be a little bit more careful. I mean, these Highland foot can form square, so they don't need to worry about these dragoons too much. Not yet, anyway. And there you go. Look at that. The French and the Swiss routed some of the like mounted rifles. These light dragoons getting out of it, but now the cavalry's faced with squares from Britain.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Apparently, a glorious victory is soon to be his. Though we are like just starting this battle, and as you can see over here, the French 1812, he split his army in two, and it's cost him because Austria's got some hussars in, and I mean Poland's kind of like saved him with those Uhlans. But I mean, these are some pretty banged up units now. This Swiss unit, yeah, getting it like pounded by Austria. It's already a small unit. Austria and Russia. Well, actually, this is Russia. I'm going to get these two factions mixed up. They've got very similar colour flags. Looks like Austria's sending his cavalry to support Sweden over here against France and Poland. Poland's here. You can't forget the Poles. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, the French just routed here in the centre. Just heard them saying that. Infantry, the Swiss gone. That's about to say. I mean, there's very little infantry here to stop the Russians. The Russians have a lot of infantry as well setting up here. A lot of musketeers. And it looks like we've got like grenadiers as well here. There is fighting going on, I am aware. We'll go and have a look at it now. It looks like it's more French cavalry going in. French cavalry going in, and they're going to try and rout some of these things. And these foot Howard screens can form square. They need to do so. Over here, look at this. Absolute catastrophe. The artillery here has been taken out by the British. I presume it's why the cavalry went in. And yeah, so it seems like France is having a really, really rough start. I mean, these Trilliers here are doing a good job, but they cannot do a good job everywhere. Cousins of the Emperor. They're strong, but they're not that strong. Looks like we've got some of those mounted rifles. I don't know if these guys really should be going into combat, but I guess they can against Voltigeurs down here. Swiss Voltigeurs getting taken out. That will be easy work. I mean, what we've got some Swiss Dragoons here. They might want to go and save their Voltigeurs. I mean, they're a bit late now. So they want to try and save that artillery. There you go. You can see that the French sending in some hussars to just come and help deal with this trouble. There you go. Those British light dragoons should be gone in no time. Britain's certainly taking an early beating right now. And it looks like France is now also fighting off against the Russians, who are just plodding on forward like they do in their traditional Russian style. Don't know how they still can form square by the looks of it, these musketeers. They're pretty well set for that Polish force that's waiting for them in the woods then. Or like behind the French lines. Look at how many I mean, could they go for the grenadiers? No, they can't even go for the grenadiers. 99, sorry, Russia's pretty well set. I mean, you might want to push and hit these grenadiers, because otherwise he's getting outflanked. Over here, nothing really going on, so we'll come back to that later. But we'll keep an eye on what Russia's doing right now. Big line fight just about to take place here. France is outgunned as well. And they got more Swiss. They already have the Swiss faction. France was like, nah, we want more Swiss.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
A general is under attack, apparently. There you go. We've got the Russian musketeers coming forward. Strelki as well. Got a lot of stuff here. Austria's bringing over more cavalry over this side to support Britain because he's short on cavalry. Got dragoons and cuirassiers here. I mean, France is pretty short on infantry. The Swiss need to hurry up and like start pushing on the the British lines. I mean, I don't know why they're moving forward in like lines like this. You want to move forward in columns. Big no-no in NTW3. This is a slow way to walk. And as you can see, like the units all the way back here. And these are only like militia. Actually, these guys in column. These guys are in column. Why are you going extra slow? But yeah, these Swiss units over here in line. This is not a good sign. Don't want to be doing that. Maybe the mark of a newer player. You can see the Poles went in. They did in fact go in, and they got routed. I don't think they routed a single Russian unit. I don't know. They did a lot of damage. Did they rout that one? There might be one route down here. I don't know. No, there's the Kazakh cavalry coming in there just to make sure those Russians gone. The Poles gone. I don't think they did rout a single Russian unit there. That's sad. Did Poland bring any infantry? I don't think he did. I mean, Polish infantry isn't great, but I mean, it's always handy to have extra. Because right now, the French are kind of looking a little bit outnumbered. French and Swiss look a little bit outnumbered on the infantry stakes. Maybe not on the cavalry. But a bit concerning when Russia's entire army can form square. And finally, over on this side, we are seeing a huge fight going on. Look at this. I do apologize. I've just seen this on the map. But yeah, we've got cuirassiers in here. We've got Uhlans in here as well. And they've just smashed through this Austrian line. That probably is the weakest of the four factions, to be honest. I'd never rate Austria, because they never get a lot of love, and there's a reason for it. And you can see 1808 France having an absolute field day right now against the Swiss. And over on this side, look at this as well. Squares being formed up, both sides throwing cavalry in. The Swedish squares are, I don't know really what they are. They're not really squares anymore. Honestly, looks like the Allies lost this fight. You can see a lot of routing cuirassiers and dragoons for the Austrians. These were the guys I think that were supporting the French. So massive fight going on here. And as you can see, more going in over here as well. With the Austrians sending in more cavalry here. We've got dragoons. It's all going off right now. And we've got those grenadiers, the line back in there. They're breaking these British. I mean, they've just broken themselves, but they were breaking stuff. Don't know why France is so intent on just sending everything into melee. It's all well and good, but he's winning in a like musket fight. Really, France is really good in a musket fight. Probably better than it is in melee. To be honest, both sides have a chance of winning in melee. We'll go back over here because this is where all the action is right now. Look at this line fight right now. I feel sorry for the Swedes. This is a really good French faction. 1808, probably like 1805 to 1808. France is like when they're at the peak of their powers is France. They're looking glorious. Oh, beautiful. I mean, the Swedes have still got some like some pretty nasty cav here. You've got some carabinieri. I presume that's like carabiners. Something like that. I don't know. But I mean, they've still got loads of like Polish cav, lots of French cav actually as well. Some nasty stuff. Grenadier Cheval, which is a nasty unit to have. This is like what the Guard have available to them. So that's a really good unit to see. French kind of taking on a bit of a defensive position. I mean, I guess they had to when the Austrians are still like here. They still have a lot of stuff, even though they got broken, like their front line here. They still have a lot of stuff ready. So they're kind of taking on a more defensive style. And I kind of respect that. Let's go and see what's going on here. Any more melee fights? I mean, no, but it looks like the French have almost like been turned. Like they were pushing from where the Russians are, attacking the British, and now it's like the roles reversed. Really. Worrying thing is now that Russia is facing the entire French army. I don't know whether they're facing the entire Russian army. Surely there's more Russians than this. I don't know. Can't forget the Brits though. They are still over here. They are pretty beaten up, but they're not out yet. They're having a bit of a skirmish over here. Look at them. Musketeers ready to fight for the Tsar. From Mother Russia! Already breaking units here. Those Grenadiers gone. That's a bad sign. Grenadiers, two more here though. These could do okay. And here we go. Russians doing what they do best. They do it, sending in Grenadiers in a melee battle against the Swiss. This is a good fight for them, I feel. I mean, they got a nasty volley up there into the Swiss though.
Our men are running, sir.
Grenadiers going in. I feel like they might win that. What's going on here? How is this unit still holding? 18 men. 18 men. And they're holding. I'd run. You'd run at that point. Looks, and they're sending in more grenadiers. They really want to break this Swiss unit. Not a bad idea. They have more like French infantry. This is like the Emperor's cousin units coming up. They're getting ready. The Swiss general is just in behind. They need to be careful of that. The Swiss, they're pushing on with a couple of units of infantry and like lights to just kind of pin down the British. They've got some cavalry over here as well. I don't know if the British can all form square. They can. So it's not really useful to cav here. Cuirassiers, I mean, again, there's like the Russians can all form square by the looks of it. The Swiss have broken, and the Russians can go in. Are the Emperor's cousins going to open fire? Here we go. Some brutal fire I can already sense coming here. Not too bad, wasn't bad. Could have been worse. Let's see how it's going on the far side. The French actually giving ground now. French have decided no. Too big a line, and I can see what they mean. Look at this. The Austrians have returned with more masses than ever before. Lots of units here from all over their empire, to be honest. What have we got here? Croatians. We've got Germans. Hungarians, I'm sure, will be in here as well. Got all sorts. I'm excited to see how they can do, to be honest. They look like they got units out here as well. They're just keeping an eye on those Polish cav. Certainly worth doing. Looks like the Russians, though, are still doing really, really well. These Grenadiers causing all sorts of havoc, breaking a lot of units here. Now they're sitting in the Cuirassiers. Not a bad idea, to be honest, sending in these guys. And it looks like the Kazakh cav coming in there as well. It's an absolute mess. That's how I describe it. Absolute mess.
Our men are running, sir.
Lots of infantry breaking. Look at that. Russia's got in and he's managed to take out this Swiss artillery. Really nicely done. Maybe you can get the general next. You may be able to do it. You never know. Britain's back, by the way, and he's routed that Swiss like rearguard cavalry here. So now Britain may be able to go into the back of the French here and be able to take them out. And you've got Soult here, who's the commander of this French army. He may be shaking his boots a little bit now. Maybe just a little bit. We'll go over there. Dragoons still. I mean, they need to like get these guys moving. Need to stop pushing with the Swiss and trying to pin down these British. Grenadiers finally getting like stopped in the tracks, but it's going to be by Cuirassiers. And there you go. The Russians kind of routed now. There's Kazakh cav. I don't know if that's going to be enough to break that line infantry unit. Who knows? Who knows? Over here. Hard to say who's going to win this. This looks really even right now. I mean, the numbers are with the Allies, but obviously the French have the quality and the cav in Poland. I'm certainly more excited like for this fight. I mean, obviously because it's currently going on. Oh my gosh, the French have more infantry in here. I did not even see these guys. They have some pretty healthier units anyway. And just as like they've beaten back the Russians, they've almost defeated the Russians. The British are back. The British have returned. Not with much. They're like not as good as they used to be. The Dragoons broke. That's sad to see. But yeah, British are back in. They're going to be a bit annoying. These Lowenstein rifles just routed a load of Dragoons. It's a shame to see as well. Yeah, these Voltigeurs, I mean, I don't know if they're really getting any good kills from this range. All they're doing is probably just harassing these guys. Yeah, got bright green uniforms. It's not very camo-like. Gonna blend you in bright green. British are setting up now. I don't know if they've got a general actually anymore, Britain. Don't think I've seen Abercrombie in a little while. The Russians gone again. Okay, so the Poles sent in some cav, trying to break these Russians. They formed square, and now these units of French can just absolutely 4 fire onto these squares, which is so much easier. A really good way to break squares, just fire like this. And they broke that one. What's this? This is some like line infantry going in against the squares. Either the square formation can come out a square, or it'll get charged by the cav, or it stays and loses in combat. There you go. Cav's back. So that's really nicely done there by Poland and France. Looks like we have some movement over here as well. The Poles have broken this unit here that was guarding like this little pass. Don't think the Austrian player was paying attention and just got this unit isolated and killed. And you can see the French. Now look at this. They're causing all sorts of havoc down this line here. I don't know how many of their units actually can form square. That's the issue. That one actually could. That got taken out with the Poles. But yeah, most of these cannot form square. So right now these Dragoons are having an absolute field day. See the Uhlans of Poland starting to arrive. So yeah, even though like Austria arrives with big numbers, scares like the French back, these numbers aren't well trained. They can't form square. They're just large units. And there you go. Look at that, breaking really quickly. I mean, they will return a lot of these, but it's never the same. The French just destroying right now. And they've had a rough game, the French. Both the French armies have, to be honest. You can see where like the French got pushed back from. Got the Swedish cav now just standing on their bodies like, ha! How dare you fight over this land? This is our land. What we got over here? Still also, I've got like some Strelki left. Yeah, I think like over here really, like the British have been cleared out. I don't really know how big their army was, but it just was not big enough. They kind of got 2v1. Russia was a bit late in arriving and nearly did enough. He seemed to do a lot of damage to the French here. He also got like a lot of damage inflicted on him, like the Russian infantry. Really good at anti-cav, but I don't know how really good it is in a line battle. Those Uhlans just broke them very easily and expected. I mean, there's a general out here. They might need to be careful with that. That's Austria's general. They cannot afford to lose him. It's already bad enough as their morale. Got the Swedish cav down here now finally dealing with these Dragoons. They've been causing havoc in the Austrian lines. These Austrians can form square, but it's like more like a pike square. It's not like a hollow square. These guys now, I mean, look at this. This is called like, they were ready to assault with the Allies, like the Swedes and the Austrians. And now with that like one cavalry assault, they're not so strong, and they're not like, yeah, you can see Sweden's like, nah, I'm not risking my chances now against this line. I mean, there's some really fresh French units here, like untouched units, almost. So I mean, and here you go. Look, the Swedes want to go forward for a cavalry charge, but Poland's like, nope, you're denied. And sends in his Uhlans. That should do enough to deal with those Dragoons. Yet Poland's did a really good job. I mean, in the like description of this replay, they said that Poland was a bit of a newer player along with the Swiss. The Swiss, I can see it. Poland seems to have done an okay job with the cav. Not done too bad. I've seen worse by some Polish players. I'm just hoping they don't going to hit these. Yeah, thank God. I thought they were going to hit these Poles as they ran across their lines. I mean, you need to still be careful. There's skirmishes in amongst these guys. It's not really the best place for these artillery. There you go. General has been killed. And that was, I believe, that might have been the Austrian one. I'm not really sure. He was running away for quite a while. I'm going to say it was. Unfortunate to see happen. I think Abercrombie died a long time ago, and I don't really know when. He just seemed to die, or just at least rout. Oh, poor unit here. Look at this. In-skilling foot, just getting fired on all sides by the Swiss. The Swiss of all people. The most pacifist like nation out there. And they're getting broken by them. The French Grenadier Cheval. I mean, this is just such a nasty unit. This unit could break like units on its own. Like a whole army. I got those Carabiniers here, though. That might be a bit of a match to these Grenadiers. And France still doesn't feel like charging it. Swedes still doing their bit. Having a bit of a line fight over here now with the French and the Swedes. Going on over here. Yeah, it looks like it's just a clear out really of Russia. And yeah, look at all this cavalry. Like we've got the cavalry from like the 1812 army now coming across. We've got the Uhlans here as well. Not looking good for the rear of this Swedish force. I can't say that I would want to be any of these Swedes right now. All the Austrians, I can't forget them here. I mean, there's not many Austrians, they're all like German. And look at this, you can see the Uhlans coming in again, routing these Austrians freely. They don't even need to worry about like squares with most of these units, they just charge in. More here. We've got like a desperate charge from some Swedish cav. It's not going to do much, all it's going to do is merely pin the cav down for like 2 seconds. Maybe they fight a volley in with the Austrian infantry, that'd do some damage, but they still got more, that's the issue, they've got endless. There's only like a couple of units of cav left. I mean, this is the main one. This is it, really, actually, for the Allied cav. Look at that. Look at this going in now. This should be okay. That's like a pike square sort of thing. That should be alright. Not so sure about these line infantry. Oh, no, the Poles broke. There you go. Austria survives, like, with 3 units, like, for another day. But France is being very persistent right now with this line battle. The Swedes are getting beaten up as well. Swedish infantry is just not that great. You can see it through the fog though, or the smoke through the fog. Man-made fog. What we got back here? The Swedish have got their, they've got a general back here. Oh no, this is more cavalry. This is lifeguard cavalry. This is good cav. Why have they got this just lingering back here like they've forgotten about it? Looks like France has got some cuirassiers and a general set up ready. The Swiss have stuff. But here you go, look at this. This is Polish cavalry that's come all the way around the back. These guys are going in amongst the Austrians. And the Austrians may lose the last of their troops now. They have no general. They may be about to have no army. How many of these Swedish units can form square? I've hovered over about 3 so far, and none of them can form square, which is a bit concerning. Some of these guys can actually. Yeah, it's about 50-50, I'd say. Maybe 60-40 in favour of the square. So they might be okay, they might be able to survive, but they're not going to be able to survive the musket fire. Look at that, just broken that. And now they can go after, oh yeah, these Jaegers can. Actually, yeah, these last 2 Austrian units can. Why have you not formed square? Oh no, you can't form square. You're dead. You're dead, son. Artillery fire now, look at this. This is going to be just painful. We've got here 4-pounders. Yeah, 2 4-pounders just firing. Point blank range to any Swedes, really. That like form square. That's a really, really nice tactic there by the French. Shame that the Austrians have just left this cav back here. It's like they just kind of forgot about it. I mean, they could fire canister, I think. It's a bit risky, I guess, with their infantry so close, but they could. Swedes coming forward again. I respect the Allies' like determination though. They won't give up. They will not give up as they get gunned down right now by the French. I mean, certainly it was a rough one. Sweden like started off a little bit of a struggle, and Poland, like, I mean, with all the cav, I guess, is always an issue. But I mean, the French like superiority is just like shone through. We've got German grenadiers in here, still pinned down. Who's going to get the brave job of going in? Any of these line infantry, perhaps? Maybe. Might be the Emperor's cousins. You never know. They seem to get a lot of the hard jobs. We've got some dragoons here and the chasseurs that are just getting shot at by those grenadiers. They need to be careful of that. And look at that. Finally, Sweden gives in. He's finally going to give back the ground that the French have. The French have to move forward. Maybe a little bit too late for Sweden. Cuirassiers is still here, lingering. Really, still really confused. What are you doing? Maybe he has more hidden. Maybe I just don't know. Maybe he thinks this is hidden. I don't know. This is certainly not hidden. The French can see you. But right now, I'd be harassing those Swedes with cavalry. I'll keep the infantry moving forward. So they just can't, either they can't form square or they form square and they get shot by infantry like fire. So one or the other. Right now is what I'd be doing. I would certainly be harassing these Austrian units as well because they are very, very weak in morale. They could break at any point. And certainly this one here can't form square. A few of these Swedish units can't form square anyway, so they're definitely like worth picking off. It looks like we're going to see the cuirassier unit here try it. He's going to go in for something. Looks like Austria see he's going to form square. Needs to get around it and just go for anything over here. Maybe go for the general. No, he's gonna change his mind. He's gonna just get out of there. This lost a couple of good cuirasses for no reason. Have the Swiss got anything that they could really actually send into that building themselves? Not really. Have they got any grenadiers? No. Got a lot of militia. Oh, I've got some grenadiers back here.
We have killed their general, sir.
Generals died.
Now they must break.
Oh, the Swedish generals has been assassinated by a Swiss cav. There you go. Did not see that coming. And why is the whole Swiss army kind of just stopped like this? It's a bit of chaos. And here you go. Looks like this is going to be where the Swiss are going to just hold their ground. They've given up, I think, a little bit. Not quite giving up, but they're like, their general's dead. They're like, well, we might as well just go for it now. I mean, this carabinier here is getting shelled to pieces. Really good target though for the French artillery. Why haven't the French moved forward their army? I do not know. Maybe they're just going to deal with the Cavs going to just deal with it? I don't know. Not a clue. There you go though. Look at how good that cav is. I mean, I know it was only like a weakened dragoon for the Swiss. This lifeguard cav's pretty damn useful. And it looks banging. And it's light blue. I wouldn't mess with that unit. Seems no one either wants to really like try and take this building from the German grenadiers. They're not that great. I mean, you probably could take it. Certainly those Swiss grenadiers, when they arrive, would be able to take it. And they're yellow, black, and red. Swiss have, I don't know what they're doing really. They're marching in one-man columns. So we're going to war one man at a time. This is a very effective way of war. We've mastered it for centuries. Don't know what I'm really on about. The Swiss army is clearly Swedes army. I've probably been doing that all game, I bet. Just saying Swiss when I should be saying Swedish, and Swedish when I should be saying Swiss. Looks like they're going to try and use this tree line instead of last defense. Again, don't know why. Oh no, they are now. I was going to say 1808, France needs to push forward. Along with Poland. Poland's going to move his cav through. These artillery here want to reset up, really. Those aren't even artillery, this is line. Voltigers of the line. The artillery's back here. Very nice. Very nice. Keep it up, boys. I'm sure they're just pounding that cavalry back there. I'd certainly be pounding that right now. The infantry's just no match. Here we go. A line battle continues. This is 1812 France. This is the one that's been fighting Britain. He's managed to get over here and get involved in the fight. Here we go. Sweden finally calls a halt and turns. Still nobody's going to go for that grenadier. Though Salt's going to charge on by like there's no grenadiers in there. I'm sure they'll appreciate just a few free shots at the 1812 general. If only those French had kept those grenadiers alive, they'd be very handy right now.
Our men are running.
And there you go. Salt's broken. Like a fool he is. Why did he just go past the building? No clue. Got cavalry behind though. This is going to be a concern. It's a fresh unit. Well, it's that unit of Grenadier Cheval, which is still fresh. And we've got those Uhlans. They've got some of them still left. They've still got a lot of like other like assorted cav back here as well. Have the French. They've got some like dragoons. They've got the General Rainier here actually. Maybe they haven't got as much as I thought. I thought they had more assorted cav. Maybe not. But we've got the cavalry here of Sweden engaged. They've actually broken that line infantry there, but they have so much like infantry and other cav involved here, and they've just been broken. If only you boys had supported. Why did you support? And the Swiss are starting to arrive now. Jeez, it's kind of almost turning into a 4v1 at this point. I mean, I wouldn't really count Austria as a 1. Wouldn't even count them as a half. But here we go. The student's going to form a square. This one can't, as we're well aware. And the Poles, and the Russian. Oh my gosh, the Poles and the French are going to just destroy this unit. As you can see here, Sweden is not happy with this either. See the French infantry now coming forward, even though they're fighting like the French cav. French infantry just shooting in the back. That'll be the death blow. Yeah, broken just like that. Mission accomplished, and there you go. I think that's all of Austria gone now. It is now just down to Sweden, and Sweden's only got what 1, 2, 3 units left, 2 units left. Actually, well, Austria's technically still in that building, I guess, but screw the building. This unit can form squares. It's just down to this unit, I think. And that unit's gone as well. So Sweden's out actually before Austria. Of course it is. Of course it is. Well, actually, technically not so. Apparently there's a unit back here somewhere. Oh, it's oh no, it's the Carabiniers. They returned. I thought it might be the lifeguards. But it looks like they're running into a lot of Swedish Swiss squares. I've actually been doing Swiss, Swedish. I've got that wrong all day. I know it. That's broken now, and now it is just the building. There you go. Someone take this building. This line infantry. I believe you could do it. It's the Austrian Grenadiers. It's not the scary ones. It's not like Russia. It's not like France. You could take this. Go in. You fools. 57 of you. Brave men. You could do it. Oh, they're just going to fire at the building instead. What cowards. Just go in. But yeah, there you go. That is going to be the battle. I mean, France has had a really, really like good game here. These guys can form. They're like form as Pike Square as well. But yeah, France had a pretty like rough start. I mean, you got pushed back by Russia. And like the British were like causing some issues. Swiss was like a bit slow to like arrive, as was I mean Poland actually wasn't. Poland was pretty good. But yeah, there's like the French army over here is like barely touched. It's looking very, very healthy. So yeah, that is showing off the power of the French. It certainly is very, very powerful. What is left? Oh, it's that unit still in square. Returned. It's about to get gunned down by about 3 units here of line infantry. And there he goes, it's gone. Or it's going to go. As with the silent muskets. The return of the silent muskets. That's what we like to see. And there you go. The Grenadiers broke. And as soon as that Swedish unit breaks...
We have taken the building, sir!
Then that's it. That's checkmate. As with the silent muskets to finish off. But yeah, it's certainly been a fun one. Certainly shows off a few new, like not new factions, the factions we don't often see very often, like the Swiss, for instance. Don't see them very often, or like the British faction, like 1801 Britain, don't see very often. Don't even see the Poles that often these days, to be honest. But there you go, we have a victory for the French and their allies. So this one was sent in by Sam Hung, 1407, who was playing as, I believe he was playing as 1812 France, who was the one that was facing Britain. So well done to him. He was playing with M13, he was playing with Stranger and Stuka Blyer, who were all his allies, so well done to all of them. Sam Hung did get the most kills actually, so well done to him. And then against him, we have the King of Gondor, who is a regular player of NTW3 playing as Austria, so he must have had a pretty rough game. Oh yes, look at that, 500 kills, not so great. Best player was Daddy Mac, or best kills was Daddy Mac here playing as Russia. Then we have Imperator Sky. We've got 400 kills as Britain. That's a sad thing to see. This British faction is pretty good as well if used correctly. Then we have Bob here playing as Sweden. So well done to them all, and congratulations as well to the French for winning. These Grenadiers of the line here getting 173 kills. Then we have some like line infantry up here, like just a random unit of line infantry, getting 248 kills. Really good unit there. And these Cousins of the Emperor actually got 170, so they came in third. I kind of expected them to be a bit higher. What's the other one? Down here at 102. Yeah, some really, really good kills if you want to just check them out. There you go. And yeah, that is the battle today. If you enjoyed it, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment as well to let me know what NTW3 battles you want to see, or like if you want to see like anything else on the channel. Let me know. And until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.